Your friendly neighborhood subtitle. Take 5. What's up? I'm gonna explain real quick the whole trunk bomb mythos. So maybe you can get the thing because I don't think people are gonna get this. I guess I'm gonna be an editor of like a comic book and come and explain the back history because some people just can't read it and they may not stay around to see the last issue or the next storyline. Um, Basically, I didn't expect to make all the money from Bandcamp. It wasn't like a cry of help other than any other cry of help you probably heard me give in the last like 4 years or whatever it is. It was more just really a wake up call to people who kind of are thinking that this stuff is like magic. Like what I've seen is like a big apathetic thing. Apathetic thing. I'm sorry. It's been this big movement of people not really tripping off of stuff. Because they just have it all at this point. So it's like record labels can't really sell what they need to sell because the bad stuff they're putting out just sucks, and the good stuff they're not really marketing like they used to. So therefore, it's not being sold like it used to. And now that people don't really have a monopoly over how you get information, like MySpace won't give you 500 plays anymore unless you're on the front page of MySpace. Like there's 40 ways to hear something, 400 ways to buy something, shit, 500 ways to get it for free. And if the whole purpose is getting music to say you have music, you can steal music every day now, all day long. And then there's people who still live in 3D because we're at this kind of thing where we have these diametrically opposed timelines, intersecting with each other right now. And you have the digital age where everything's given to you on like a flat screen thing, and then you have the physical age where you still have dudes rocking and turning and scratching things that were made up 100 years ago. And they're both the same thing, just two different versions of the same thing, and they're fighting for the same space. And hip hop is something that's fetishized by like the old technology. That's what's made it what it is. Drum machines and turntables and stuff. They've kept that for years and years to where you've made controllers that look like drum machines and controllers that look like turntables to control digital things that happen in the new age because you don't really want to come with the times and like use the new shit, or maybe you do, but you see the advantage of the old and the new, which is what I like to believe. And I think that like with the whole digital age, where we at 224, yeah, I can still keep talking for a quick sec. With the whole digital age, it's come to a point where a lot of people who were raised in the digital age don't really understand the whole protocol and procedure of digging for records and saving money up to go buy some. They think that's just what you do. Like, oh, you did that? I don't have to do that anymore. This was something that added to the whole culture, which in turn added to the whole retail part of it. Like, if you grew up going to Disneyland for free all the time and you never paid to go to Disneyland, Disneyland wouldn't stay open that much off of being Disneyland, and then all the stuff around Disneyland wouldn't have a reason to be open. So that's kind of how you have to look at it. Like there's a whole service industry set up behind a random event that worked, and then a sequence of random events that worked. Let's say 5 of them in a row. That's scientific method. So therefore, a whole service industry with quantified logic was built around just a bunch of stuff that happened. And so a lot of people made gambles that worked in this industry. And now these gambles aren't working for the people because they're using the same old information versus new information. Because people are still buying stuff. It's just you have to decide how important it is for them to buy and whether you should sell it and what would they sell if they weren't being sold with you. Whatever, you get it. So Trunk Bomb was just a test, to see, like, because it was really about how it was presented. It wasn't so much as that it was there. Like, yeah, I put it on Bandcamp, you can buy it, whatever. It's a thing of like why I'm presenting it. Are people really tripping off of pain to see a record made in our community like they are in these other industries and these other subgenres and stuff? Like people trip on pain to see me make a record. Is somebody gonna jump and be like, hey man, you know what? I got 45 G's here. Trunk Bomb. Like no, and I knew that, but that's not a pessimistic thing. That's just a pragmatic thing. Like, yeah, people aren't tripping like that. That's because they've gotten everything at the end result. They went out and bought the record. They didn't ask you to make it and make sure you made it unless they were the person that did that. Most people went out and got it as an end result. They heard about it. They read about it. They saw it. Their friend had it. Something like that. These people weren't really people that were out there making it happen. It's never had to happen in rap music. This is unprecedented time. So therefore, it's all new stuff. So, knowing this, me and my peers were just taking advantage of all the different ways to present you this music. You're going to hear controversial ways, controversial points of view, all kind of things on how to make you get the music because now you're being overloaded with so much music that the sheer act of making the music and presenting it to you isn't enough for you to sit down and listen to it because when you hear it, you're going to automatically compare it to somebody else you like, if not yourself, or something else. So therefore, all these other things to get you to listen to it, they're distractions, they're decoys, whatever. just so you can base an opinion, so you can go towards it. Like somebody like Paris Hilton, she would have been a billionaire whether you heard of her or not, but she did a porno, and what should have killed her career instead sparked her career. Now, for people who care about Paris Hilton, they're into whatever she does, starting with the porno. So with all of us, it's like we started with records, and we wanted you to be into it because of the records. All the battles, the shows, who we did songs with, all that stuff was like all auxiliary stuff. That stuff that never really mattered in the beginning. But it's all about the records and the music. And the more the music got out there, the more we were able to do better versions of the music and do better versions with better people and whoever, whatever that means, and in more places and expose it in proper lights and this, and that, and actually become an alternative, like a true alternative to what you may view as mainstream culture. Right now, our versions are coming at subpar levels. Mainstream culture is kind of seeing what we've been doing because they got into it 10 years later, and now they're doing stuff like that, like aping and miming, what we kind of did before just to do. And now we're sitting here either trying to do what we think they do or do something that, may even be better, but no one knows about. And this music, we need a jump start on this subgenre to get it back into the position where people like Pharrell and all these Kanye and all these other tastemaker dudes are actually paying attention, because now all the labels that were underground labels a few years ago, if they're still in existence, they're major labels or an underground hub of a major label or something of that ilk. Like the people who are making the music, if they still make it, they may be making another genre style of it. They may be doing something else. You never know. So therefore, the whole way we do this, it's either dying out or it's changing with the times, and we need to be as advanced with the times as we have been with the music. And excuse me, that's the whole method in doing this. I have a method in the madness, like the writing, all these kind of things. We're really just trying to discover and show to the people why this shit is changing so much. This shit, sorry for that, but this shit being the music industry and the world as we know it. Why is this doing these switches? Why are we sitting there like, like why do people not really care about certain things that they loved the day before yesterday? And I talk to people who are involved in it because they have a subjective view of it, and everybody has their own reality, and then there's a consensus reality. And the more we, align our own reality to the consensus reality, the more we can get closer to solving the problem and then doing something, that is actually dope that we can show our kids and they can see and say is the right thing. And bam.